So I'm replacing this white drain pipe with the 3D printed or partly 3D printed drain below. Now here's the reason why it's never worked very well, is that the side aperture just didn't sit nicely in the pipe and the pipe just kept coming loose. Now obviously you can see I haven't got much room there. It was meant to have a vertical outlet, but as you can see I've only got a small gap there and it was never going to work. So it's about time that I redesigned it. So into CAD, basically started with the top tray that would slide up between the gutter and the sill. Designed a drop down into the gutter, and then I designed a gutter that would run the whole length of the grass part into the gutter for the main roof. Now I did this and it was a case of, why am I 3D printing a whole gutter section? So I started again, although I didn't start again, widened the top catch plate, and I adapted the drop and I built an end cap, and I made it to fit a piece of guttering I already had, although the guttering was a bit squashed. But so these are the three parts that came off the printer. As I said, I didn't bother to alter that one too much. Can't be asked, no point anyway. So that one's going to go, that's the drop. Obviously that's the tray, still got the brim still attached, so I've got to take these off, and I'm going to mount that on there like that, and that's just the end cap, which is going to go like yay. So that's the first job, debrim and then attach the two parts together. Now I keep forgetting you can actually model self-tapping threads. Right, there we go, that's it. So, cut the drain pipe to length, or should I say, cut the gutter to length, screw it on, got some more self-tapping screws ready, and we're away we go. Right, I've just cut this end square. Didn't realise that the camera wasn't running, as usual. So hopefully this will fit in there like that. Look at that. Sweet! Right. So I'll pull that back off again. Cut a hole up there. I don't even probably need to cut it entirely. I can probably just slit it and bend it down. I'll probably bend it down with a bit of heat. Right, that'll do. There we go. If I show you inside, Oh, yeah. Show you the underside. You can't quite get a clear angle. Right, now I'm going to run it up onto the roof. No, I won't. I'll drill these holes first of all and screw them in, and then I'll run it up to the roof. Well, what I'm going to do is actually reverse screw this. If it sounds, that sounds a bit weird, I know, but because I'm worried about this hole being split as I put the screw in it, what I'm going to do is drill this hole practically the same size as this screw, and it will actually screw into this, but because it will pass through this, even if it doesn't actually screw into it at all, it can't come out because it's screwed into this tight. Does that make sense? Well, I don't know, you'll see in a second. But I don't want to split this. Just check to see if it's lining up the hole. It is lining up that hole, that's good. There we go. And I'll put the other one in and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Right, you can see the two screws on the inside. It doesn't come off because they're screwed into this and they won't come out, but because they're passing through this, the only way effectively to get it off without taking the screws off would be to peel it open, but of course that's never going to happen. And I did design it to give a bit of pinch on this, and if you can see that angle, it actually flares up to it. It's the same the other end. Right, so that's one end fixed. It's good and tight, like that. Right, I'm going to run this up to the roof, check for length, mark it, bring it back down and cut it. Okay, so I've got my mark. I'm going to mark it square, but I'm not going to cut it square. I'm going to cut it so there's just a slight taper on this. I'll explain why once I've cut it and show you how it fits. So what I'm going to do is mark it square first of all. So that's pretty much square. I'm going to add onto the top of each one of these 5mm. Doesn't sound like much, but in angle terms it's quite a bit. Now I'm just going to offer this up here. I'm just going to do it by eye. Right, so I'm going to cut up that tapered line.
I'm only using a 1mm slitting saw for that, nothing extraordinary. Okay, reason for the taper is because this will fit in here now, and I've got a bit of a change of angle coming on. Probably didn't even need that 5mm, but I did need something. Yep, that's probably about right there. Yeah, so you can see even that 5mm made a great difference. If I push that right up there, it's quite an angle change. But that is too much, so my 5mm judgment was a little bit off. That's probably about right. So now I've got to try and work out where these holes are. Easier said than done. I think what I'm going to do, actually, because the chances of me finding the holes are actually 3D printed are slim, to be fair. I didn't really think about that. So I'm just going to drill some new holes. And I'm going to do the same as I did just a minute ago. So on this one I'm going to put a bit of silicone, purely and simply because I want it to try and not get inside the unit. I don't want water getting inside the print, because obviously the print being hollow, if water gets in there and freezes, it's going to be sayonara unit. Right, screw number 1. Okay, so I'm going to splodge a bit of silicone on the holes that are posing through and around the edge, and we're good to go. Not mega neat, that'll do. Right, let's go and put it in place. Right, up on the roof, and you can see the original layout. It's basically a bit of pipe, and it goes in there, but it just sits in there. There's no proper fixing for it. And the other end is just a bit too long. And what water manages to get down the hole, other than leaks round because it's a piss poor fit, when it rains really hard, this actually gushes out and ends up down there because it just gushes out of this end fitting. So, dispose of that. This is the new design. slides up under that fascia there, and we should, there we are, straight into the top. That is better. And it's just going to sit there, doesn't need to be fixed. And if it does, I'll just put a screw down through there, just to actually just sit on the top here, just to stop it jiggling out. But I can't see. I mean, that thing used to sit there all on its own and never really pop out, even when the water pressure was really bad, you know, despite the fact it just sits there. So we'll see what happens. That should work nicely. No, my luck, the wind's going to get hold of it now, blow it straight out. Do you know what? I think I'm going to go get a self-tapping screw anyway. It's not going to hurt. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to end the video here anyway, because you don't want to see me putting a self-tapping screw in. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to go and get some water as well. No, I'm going to put the self-tapping screw in, and I'm going to come back in a minute and get some water up here and test it. That's the way to end the video, isn't it? Yes, yes, I can hear you all crying, yes. You sad... Yeah, I know. I am. Right, let the water begin. Well, apart from the fact the gutter's leaking as well, so another job. And obviously there's crap in the gutter. It doesn't help. But that's working pretty well. It's just the fact that my gutter's leaking. Another job to do. I'm not going to film that one. Right, au revoir everyone. Don't forget to subscribe. Right, toodle pip.
Thank you.